यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यामुनतिरवनचारी यामुनतिरवनचारी जय राधा माधव कुञ्ज बिहारी गोपीजनवल्लभ गिरिवर धारी। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, dear devotees of the Bhakti Center, New York. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to serve Srimad Bhagavatam class today. Let me share my screen. Today we have the good fortune to read and study one text from the king of all holy scriptures, Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam. This is Canto 11, Chapter 3, entitled Liberation from the Illusory Energy, text 45. The Navayogendras, 9 great devotee authorities, are having a conversation and responding to the questions of the great king, Maharaj Nimi. Maharaj Nimi asks the Navayogendra brothers, 9 brothers, about Karma Yoga. In response to that question, this particular text is being spoken. Nacharedyastu vedoktam swayam adnyo jitendriyah vikarmanaya dharmena mrutyor mrutyum upayati saha. Nacharedyastu vedoktam swayam adnyo jitendriyah विकर्मणाय धर्मेण मृत्योर्मृत्युम् उपैति सः। नाचरेद्यस्तु वेदोक्तं स्वयम् अज्ञो जितेन्द्रियः विकर्मणाय धर्मेण मृत्योर्मृत्युम् उपैति सः। Synonyms: न आचरेत, does not perform; यह, one who; tu, but; Veda Uktam, that what is spoken in the Vedas, that what is prescribed in the Vedas; Swayam, himself; Adnyaha, ignorant; Ajitendriya, not having control on the senses, one whose senses are uncontrolled; Vikarmana, by not executing scriptural duties. He, indeed, adharmena, by his irreligion, mrutyo, mrutyum, death after death, upaiti, obtains or achieves, saha, he. Translation and purport by the humble disciples of our beloved, revered founder Acharya, His Divine Grace, Shri Srimad Abhay Charana Arvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. If an ignorant person who has not conquered the material senses does not adhere to the Vedic injunctions, certainly he will engage in sinful and irreligious activities. Thus, his reward will be repeated birth and death. So, the Navayogendras, the 9 brothers who are authorities on spiritual knowledge, one by one they are responding to the questions of King Nimi. And here we are being taught something very fundamental to our spiritual life. Srimad Bhagavatam is teaching us in this particular text that if we do not control our senses, our eyes, our sense of touch, our sense of taste, smell, hearing, our mind, if we do not control our senses, then we will engage in vikarma. The word vikarma is used. We will engage in adharma. These 2 words are used in this particular text. Vikarmana hi adharmena. We will engage in irreligious activities, and vikarma is sinful activities. There is karma, which means to perform activities according to the Vedas in order to achieve happiness in this world, material happiness. That is called karma. Those who follow the path of karma are called karmis or karmakandis. They perform religious activities but with the aim of being happy in this world. Vikarma means activities that are not sanctioned by our holy scriptures. They are sinful activities. Akarma has 2 meanings to it. The word akarma has been used to indicate 2 different meanings. Akarma also means Krishna conscious activity. That is one meaning. Akarma means activities that are done for the pleasure of Krishna and they do not produce any material karma reactions, any material karmic reactions. Those transcendental spiritual activities meant for the service and pleasure of Lord Shri Krishna are called akarma. But the word akarma has also been used to indicate not doing anything, not doing our duty. That is also a meaning of akarma. In this verse, however, the word used is vikarma. Vikarma means sinful activities, activities that are not sanctioned by our holy scriptures. If we do not control our senses, we are being taught in this particular text, if we do not control our senses and we do not adhere to the Vedic injunctions, we don't follow the teachings of our holy scriptures, then we will end up engaging in vikarma and adharma, sinful activities and irreligious activities. Thus, the reward of such a person who commits sinful activities will be repeated birth and death. Mrutyor mrutyum upaiti saha. That person will remain in this material world and will repeatedly be subjected to birth, old age, disease, death, birth, old age, disease, death, again and again. And this is called samsar. In the purport, we are taught in the previous verse, it was stated that although fruitive activities are prescribed in the Vedas, fruitive activities prescribed in the Vedas means karma. The actual goal of human life is to free oneself from all karma, from all materialistic activities. That is a true teaching of the Vedas. Therefore, one may conclude that there is no need to perform Vedic rituals, which offer regulated sense gratification. But an ignorant person, or in other words, one who has not understood that he is not the material body but an eternal spiritual soul, part and parcel of Sri Krishna, will invariably be unable to control the urges of material senses. Therefore, if such a materially inclined person neglects the Vedic injunctions that administer regulated sense gratification, he will surely fall down into unregulated sense gratification in pap. Pap means vikarma or sinful activity. This is very interesting concept, my dear friends. Srimad Bhagavatam is teaching us that don't become a premature pure devotee. Srimad Bhagavatam is teaching us that spiritual progress is step by step process. We should not try to jump to very exalted higher states artificially. It has to be achieved systematically, step by step. One may read in the scriptures statements like Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistraigunya Bhava Arjuna. O Arjun, Lord Shri Krishna is saying, in the Vedas, mainly the activities within three modes of material nature are described. Activities in the mode of ignorance, passion, and goodness. But Arjun, you should go beyond all these three. Nistraigunya. You should become Gunatit. You should go beyond the three modes of material nature, Arjun. And then we read this and we think that, okay, now I don't need mode of goodness. Now I am in Vishuddha Sattva. I am in the transcendental mode of pure goodness. The problem is we are not able to sustain that. And soon, sure enough, we fall down into the lower modes and we end up committing sinful activities. Therefore, it is important that we remain humble and whatever regulated sense gratification, regulated enjoyment is there, we should accept it and keep our eyes on the goal. For example, if I have to come to Bhakti Center, I live in Atlanta, Georgia. I will put the address of Bhakti Center, New York, New York, in my GPS. The destination is the Bhakti Center. However, my eyes will be on I-75 North. My eyes will be on the highways of Georgia. Then my eyes will be on the highways of South Carolina, then North Carolina. Like that, I will make my way up until I find a parking spot somewhere near the Bhakti Center. And then I come and I knock on the door, and Anand Bihari Prabhu opens the door for me. This is spiritual life. Our eyes are on service to Radha Krishna in Golok Vrindavan. But we focus on the now and the here. Right now, I'm struggling with pornography. Right now, I'm struggling with excessive social media. Right now, I struggle with eating food that is not offered to Krishna. unsanctified food. Right now, I waste time on my phone and laptop. Right now, I still enjoy going for the movies. Right now, I like to watch sports on the TV, football, basketball, whatever it may be. We look at ourselves honestly, where we are, and we try to work on ourselves. At the same time, we know that my destination, my goal, my highest aspiration is to have love for Radha Krishna and serve Radha Krishna in the beautiful forest groves of Golok Vrindavan as a maid servant of the maid servant of Srimati Radharani. That may be the goal, that may be the aspiration. But we focus on the road ahead of us. It's a journey. We will get there, but we have to focus on the immediate turns of this road. Example is given here. For example, those who are affected by sexual desires are ordered to accept Vivaha Yajna or the religious ceremony of marriage, where a man and a woman they get married. We often see that because of false pride, a so-called brahmachari or celibate student of Vedic knowledge rejects the marriage ceremony as maya or material illusion. I don't want to get married. That's marriage is for those who cannot control their senses. Marriage is for someone who is not serious in Krishna consciousness. If you get married, there is 90% chance you will not go back to Godhead. They have such notions, they make such statements, and they reject marriage. But if such a brahmachari or a celibate student is unable to control his senses, he will undoubtedly degrade himself by eventually engaging in illicit sex, which has no connection to Vedic culture. So, if we try to jump from one rooftop to other, we may end up falling down on the road. Instead, it is better to follow the process of taking the elevator to the lobby level, exiting the door, looking for we call it zebra crossing in India. What do you call it in America? The crosswalk, where there are markings on the road. You go to that zebra crossing, you cross the road, you go to the door of that building, get into the elevator, and get to whichever floor you want in that room, in that building, instead of trying to jump from one building to the other. So it's better to follow the regulated process mentioned in our holy scriptures and make step by step progress than try to jump to higher realms for which we are not qualified yet. So, this example is very apt. And this example can be extrapolated to any temptation, any sinful activity. Here, the example of illicit sex is given. And the reasonable, regulated solution for that is to become honest grahastha, become a honest householder. Just get married. Yes, I need sexual engagement. I have those desires. I am affected by sexual desires. But here, I am getting married with the blessings of Radha Murlidhar. I am getting married with the blessings of the devotees, and I will live a regulated life and make progress. And gradually, both of us will try to reach a state where we don't have to engage in sexual intercourse, where we are engaged all the time in the service of Radha Murlidhar. But that marriage will act like a protective layer, protecting us from illicit relationships. So we should not immaturely reject the facilities for sense gratification which are given in our religious scripture, thinking that we are above all that. I don't need, I don't need, I don't need. Similarly, a neophyte in Krishna consciousness is encouraged. Now, this is another example to eat Krishna prasad to his full satisfaction. Sometimes, an immature practitioner of bhakti yoga tries to make a show of severe eating habits and eventually falls down into eating unregulated and abominable foodstuffs. This also is something we can practically relate to. It is better to eat something that is Ekadashi friendly on Ekadashi. For example, quinoa and some cottage cheese, some salad, some fruits, maybe some milk, some dry fruits, whatever we need, whatever suits our digestion and our physical needs, instead of trying to show that I can fast without water. Some of us may be able to do, and that's good for us. But for a person like me, we try to no, I'm going to do nirjala, I'm going to fast without water. And then we are in the workplace, and then we get so hungry that either we become irritable, or we just decide to go off to sleep, or we just end up eating a granola bar, which breaks our Ekadashi fast. So it's better to be regulated and humble and make step by step ongoing progress rather than abruptly trying to jump very high. Krishna consciousness is a lifelong marathon, my dear friends. It is not a 100-meter sprint. We want to last. We want to practice Krishna consciousness in a sustainable way. That is the message. So, two examples are given. First example was about our sexual needs. Second example was about eating Krishna prasad.
We get spooky babies.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu. Then there is a commentary of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, the words Mrutyor Mrutyum Upaiti means that a sinful person is awarded a free ticket to hell by the Lord of Death, Sri Yamaraj. This is also described in the Vedas as follows: Mritva Punarmrutyum Apadyate Ardyamanah Swakarmabhihi. Persons who cause themselves severe pain by their materialistic activities gain no relief at the moment of death, for they are placed again in a situation in which death will occur. Sometimes people work very hard to amass money in this world. They work 15 hours a day, 16 hours a day, neglecting their spiritual duties, and materially they may become very successful. However, all that success will be taken away at the time of death. Mrityur sarva haraschaham, Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. Death will take away all our material possessions. The only thing that cannot steal away from us is our spiritual progress. Neha vikramanashosti pratyavayona vidyate swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. This is also mentioned in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Spiritual activities are never lost. There is no loss or diminution in this endeavor. And even little progress we make will save us from the greatest fear. Now, here, another example is given. These material examples are given by Srila Prabhupada and our acharyas because those are examples that we can relate to, and they help us understand spiritual topics. So, material example to understand spiritual truths. The previous verse gave the example of a father's administering candy to his son to induce the child to take medicine. If the child rejects the father's offer thinking that the candy is unnecessary, the child also misses the opportunity to take the medicine that will cure him. All the regulated material sense gratification that are offered through our holy scriptures, there will be some Krishna consciousness, some spiritual activity mixed in it, which is meant to gradually elevate us. For example, one may feel like eating ice cream, and one may purchase ice cream that does not have gelatin or egg from the market, and one may bring and offer it to our Gaurnitai or Radha Murlidhar's photo at home, Srila Prabhupada's photo at home. And to offer, we have to chant the mantras. Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. 3 times we chant the pranam mantra. 3 times we chant Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate. 3 times we chant Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmanya Hitaya Jagaditaya Krishnaya Govindaya. So how many times we are chanting the names of Prabhupada? How many times we are chanting the names of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu? And how many times we are chanting the names of Lord Krishna, Lord Govinda, just to eat one scoop of ice cream. Haribol. So this is the regulated process where we are able to fulfill the needs. They feel like need. They are actually wants. But at that time, they feel like need. I really need to eat ice cream, or I really need to have this sense gratificatory experience. We feel as if we are possessed. There is a urge. I want to enjoy this particular experience. Then we should take shelter of Krishna consciousness and enjoy them based on the regulated process within the domain of Krishna consciousness instead of leaving the realm of Krishna consciousness and entering into what is called as vikarma or adharma, sinful, irreligious activities. That we have to avoid. Better to be a honest sadhak, a practicing devotee. I'm not a pure devotee. I need this. I need to eat in a vegan restaurant. I really like that food. Okay. Or occasionally I really need to watch a movie. But then we also figure out how we are going to come out of that by regulating it. Okay, I will watch movies that somehow help me become more Krishna conscious. Or I will at least not watch movie on Ekadashi. I will not watch movies and skip the Bhagavatam class. Or I will not watch news and skip the Bhagavatam class. So we have to put certain regulations on ourselves so that as time goes by, as 2026 changes into 2027, as January changed into February and February will change into March, we are marching towards Krishna. We are marching towards the Bhakti Center. We are marching towards Radha Murlidhar and not away from them. That we have to see. That I am not regressing. I am progressing towards Radha Murlidhar. That's all. And we can take baby steps. Hare Krishna. Here it is said in Bhagavad Gita, Sri Bhagavan, Lord Sri Krishna, gives wonderful explanations to the conditioned souls, that's us, represented by Arjun. So Bhagavad Gita consists of instructions of Lord Krishna to Arjun, but through Arjun, they are meant for us, concerning the actual goal of life. One who cannot fix his mind on these instructions is to be considered a materialistic person who is inclined towards sinful activities and who must therefore submit himself to the standard Vedic injunctions. What does Krishna say in Bhagavad Gita? Shri Krishna says that we should fix our mind on him. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmar yudhya mai arpito manobuddhir mameva shasya samshaya. You fix your mind and intelligence on me all the time. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu. All times you fix your mind on me. And then you will come to me without a doubt. And Srila Jiva Goswami says the same thing. Our spiritual masters, they repeat the words of Krishna. Srila Jiva Goswami has described a materialistic person as one whose mind and intelligence are not faithfully fixed in the message of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Bhagavad Gita, Uddhav Gita. Now, here is a very important verse that is quoted in this purport from Srimad Bhagavatam, a chapter that will come in the future, 20th chapter of the same 11th canto, where Lord Shri Krishna says, very, very important verse, please pay attention. Tavat karmani kurvita na nirvidyeta yavata matkatha shravanadauva shraddha yavan na jayate. Lord Shri Krishna is saying here that one should continue to perform the regulated sense gratificatory activities that are authorized in the Vedas, in the Holy Scriptures. That is the Vedic ritualistic activities. Means activities that are permitted in the Vedas for regulated sense gratification in this material world. Vedic ritualistic activities. That is karma. Tavat karmani kurvanti. The exact word used by Sri Krishna is karma. We should do karma. We should do karma kand. Karma kand means activities according to the Vedas for sense gratification, for happiness in this material world. How to be materially happy, but following the Dharma Shastra, following the holy scriptures. We should continue doing them until one actually becomes detached from material sense gratification and develops faith for hearing and chanting about me. Mat katha shravanadava. Mat katha shravanadava means until one develops a taste for hearing, chanting about Krishna, until one develops strong faith, shraddha, until it is awakened in our heart, jayate means awakened. Until that time, we develop taste, faith in Krishna Nam, Krishna Katha, Krishna Leela. Till that time, we should continue performing the path of karma. We should not give it up prematurely. The purport continues, but we will stop here in the interest of time because we have only 6 minutes left for discussion. But I think the message was quite clear that spiritual progress should be systematic, honestly, it should be performed, and we should never leave the path of dharma. This was the message. So I'll stop here and we can take some reflections or some questions. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Adi Gadadhar Prabhu. Wonderful class. Dear devotees, it's your turn to shine. Please speak in line with Guru Sadhana and Shastra. It can be a question, it can be a comment, it can be a voice crack, as long as it's in line with Guru Sadhana and Shastra. Bhima Prabhu, you've already made your comment about spooky babies. Anybody?
Takes one to know one.
Yeah. So then I have a question. Is bhakti regulated, strategic, or spontaneous and devotional and love? And is there a contradiction here, Adi Gadadhar Prabhu?
Hare Krishna, Anand Bihar Prabhu, both are there. The regulated bhakti is called Vidhi Bhakti or Vaidhi Bhakti. And the higher stage is spontaneous bhakti called Raganuga Bhakti. But to be able to practice Raganuga Bhakti for several years, one should nicely practice regulated bhakti. It is like playing the guitar. Our Adi Purush Prabhu, he can play the guitar without looking. But if you give me the guitar, I will say, Prabhu, where do I put my finger? Ting, 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 ting. So first I have to learn Sa Re Ga Ma. And then without Shri Guru Charana Padma, like that. So that is Raganuga Bhakti. But first we have to start with Sa Re Ga Ma. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Dear devotees, please unmute yourself and say Jai, or you can glorify Adi Gadadhar Prabhu. How about that?
Yeah, I can glorify him. He's really nice. I really appreciate your lectures, Prabhuji, and I have also, in my own opinion, I've seen you going to a Raganuga state during a lecture as well. So, I mean, there was one time when I felt that way. But anyways, I just I really appreciate your lectures, and it's really nice to hear you. And I was just thinking that it's also takes a community as well. Like association is so important because like if sorry I'm on my video is
Oh,
yeah my but the association is so important because like now we have like two or three temples here in Michigan. Is it's easy to get association for the doing performing our rounds in the morning. um it makes everything so much easier. So yeah, so just happy to be here, and thank you for the lecture.
thank you, Narottam Mehta Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
There is a question in the chat, I guess. Mike Prabhu.
Um, Mike Prabhu, what about judgment from others? Mike Prabhu, can you elaborate a little bit? I didn't quite get the question.
Hare Krishna, good morning. Just really quickly, we're on this path and we're practicing and doing our best to follow everything. Um, but I feel like sometimes, even with other people on this path, I feel maybe it's just me, but I feel like there's a lot of judgment involved that, you know, might be doing something not as perfect as another person. Do I see it as that just keep the goal in sight and don't lose sight of that? How do you deal with judgment from others on the bhakti path?
Hare Krishna. That's a very, very pertinent and a very thoughtful question, Mike Prabhu. And I think I need to be judged a little bit more because I'm very spoiled. I only get to hear praises and adoration and glorification about myself. So I think I need some of that bitter medicine also. But for those of us who feel that we are being judged by other devotees, we should not feel discouraged and we should not lose our faith. We need both. We need desserts and we need some digestive pills also. When we face some censure or criticism, we should, as far as possible, again, this depends on the time, place, and circumstances, but we should take it as our purification and take it in the right spirit. And then we also need some encouragement because we are conditioned souls and we depend on encouragement from others. We feel valued and we feel like we can carry on. So when we feel that we are being judged, there's a lot of negativity, then we should try to surround ourselves with devotees who uplift us, who encourage us, who understand us, and who are friendly. But inevitably in life, sometimes we will be criticized, sometimes we will be judged, and it is healthy for our spiritual life to take it in our stride, take criticism on our chin, and there might be some value in it, and make those corrections if possible and move on, make ourselves better. Like they say, always listen to your critics, for they are the first ones to point out your mistakes. And we want our mistakes to be pointed out quickly so we can rectify them. So we should take it in a positive spirit as far as possible. We should not let it bog us down though. For that, we need association of devotees who encourage us also. Is that okay, Mike Prabhu? Correct. I think we lost.
Beautifully said. Good. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, you have so many good qualities. I think you can give us some of those. We'll take that load off your back if it's disturbing. I'm first in line, please. Bless me. Curse
Hare
me.
Radha Murlidhar are going to bless all of us now with their darshan. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Adi Gadadhar Prabhu. It's darshan time, dear devotees. Please turn on your cameras if you can.
Devotional service.
The words ending.
Hare Krishna. Adi Gadadhar Prabhu. Do you have a few minutes to stay over time with us?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Dear devotees, please be brief. This is the overtime period. We have a question from Yash Shri. Hare Krishna Prabhuji Dandavat Pranam. We have so many acharyas to whom we follow, but why are we called as Rupanugas only?
Hare Krishna. Because our main acharya is Srila Rupa Goswami. After Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the foremost follower of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the foremost propounder of the philosophy of Lord Sri Chaitanya Dev is Srila Rupa Goswami. And all the acharyas, they are following in his footsteps. So therefore we are called Rupanugas.
Thank you. Narottam Nitai Prabhu.
Yeah, thank you for. No, I just wanted to make a quick comment. I've been struggling a lot, with something one of the. Well, I don't even know how to say this. One of the I'll talk later, Prabhu, because I think maybe I'll talk with you offline because it's too verbose. But it's been really bothering me, just like the double standards. So I really appreciate Krishna consciousness because in the eyes of Krishna, we all have to play do our duties and like I don't even know. Krishna's just so don't know. It's
Yeah, Krishna knows what's going on. Yeah. Dear devotees, audience, please, especially if you're introverted, you need to ask a question. Don't be in your comfort zone. You need to be in your stretching zone. Yashri, thank you.
Go. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji Dandavat Pranam. Am I audible?
Yes, Mataji, yes.
Prabhuji, if you have Radha Krishna deities at home, um, so since they consider the offenses, so how we should supposed to serve them in a way that we will not going to be implicated in the offenses while serving them?
We should ask our spiritual master that question.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. Sudevi Gopi and family, you have a question, a comment, or a reflection? Young men in the middle, would you like to speak?
Advait Chandra.
Advaita Chandra, wow, sweet. Advaita Chandra, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you so much for this very beautiful lecture. Thank you, Ananda Vihari Prabhu, for giving me a chance to speak. I really loved that point of how we should see the level where we are at, and in that way we should progress. As a youth myself, many times I have the desire to play, to enjoy a bit with friends, etc., to have a little bit of fun. And I was recently thinking that is this desire okay? Am I on the right track, etc.? And reading this purport, etc., thinking about it, seeing that everything has that balance, and Krishna consciousness is a very fun, sweet process, and how we can integrate Krishna consciousness and have fun as well, and not just uh, be at least at my stage any sort of fanatic. You would just keep it very practical, simple, fun, and go on in Krishna consciousness. As you said, I love the point that we have to last. That we have to keep on going in Krishna consciousness, and we have to last too. Not that we take off all our guards, but we keep on going. And we keep on hearing, we keep on increasing our faith. Thank you so much for Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Hari Hari.
The desire to have fun is not going anywhere, right? Adi Gadadhar Prabhu. Yeah.
Hare
Why is that? Is that because Krishna is having fun?
Yes. Hare Krishna.
Sweet. Okay, I think we're ready for our junior choir. Annabelle, Isaiah, Sage, and Sky, please unmute yourself. and chant Hare Krishna with as much fun as you can, please. Unmute, Isaiah, unmute. Come on.
Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you very much for giving class. Adi Gadadhar Prabhu, please come again. Thank you, dear audience, for your association. We love you. We need you. Thank you so much. We want to be like you one day. Hare Krishna. Have a wonderful Monday. Don't be discouraged. Krishna loves you. Have fun. Haribol.
Hare
Cookie
Krishna.